So much for visiting my channel. This will be officially my first video, and I decided that for my first video I would do a charting video because on my social media that is the number one thing that people ask me is why do you have different color lines, how do you incorporate trend lines to your charting and things like that. So I thought it was a good idea to start the first video just by simply showing everyone what I look for when I chart, and also how I incorporate my trend lines into my charting. So with that, let's go ahead and get started. I do have, I chart using a broker, Thinkorswim by Ameritrade. It's literally not the best broker out there for several reasons, but I do like the way that I'm able to chart and the tools that they have to do that. They make it very, very simple. So I am gonna, that is what I'm using. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started. If we look here, I have the ticker SPY, right? I'm gonna just do a quick video of what I look for. So I always like to start with the larger time frame, usually the 3-year 1 week. So we call that the weekly chart. And if we look here, I'm just looking for levels of support and resistance, right? So I'm going to go here. I'm going to choose this, which is a little pencil. It's going to allow me to do a dotted line in certain areas that I think are critical levels. And let's get right into that. So I'm going to mark this level here right around 300. I think that's a pretty solid level. For my weekly chart, I do like to change the color of the dotted lines to a yellow, just so I know that is the furthest time frame that I am using. So we do that by right clicking. You're gonna go to edit properties right here. You're gonna click on the color square, and I'm gonna go ahead and use yellow. Perfect. Yes. Okay. Now that's one level that I like because as we can see here, we had rejection here, we had rejection here. We go for a third time, breaks that level, and it makes a great move up. So that's a level that I'm going to mark there. Other than that, I think I like this level here right around 259.66. So I'm going to also mark that level there. I'm going to edit the color one more time. There we go. I'm not going to set it as default, so you guys can, if you missed it the first time, you can catch it maybe the second time. Now, the next level that I'm going to mark down is going to be probably right around 320. I'm going to mark, yeah, right around 320 or so. Again, edit properties. There we go. The yellow. Okay. And another level that I'm going to mark is going to be right around 350. So there's that. Edit properties. Yellow. Okay. So far, there might be a few levels here that I can mark down, but I don't really see anything too interesting. It's not very clear. So that's all I'm going to mark down for now. The next level time frame that I go into is going to be the daily. So 1 year, 1 day, each candle will represent 1 day in the market, what the market did for 1 whole day. So without further ado, this level is a little bit more clear to see. And if you can tell, just based off the weekly chart, I did a pretty good job because we do have a level here. We trend up, break a little, but right away we were rejected. Come back to this level around right around 320, bounce up that level, make a move up, and we get rejected again here once again. We push down right around to that 320 level, and then finally we attempt to break this 350 level that I marked down, and we have that break and we have this beautiful push up. So that's your goal, right? When you're setting levels, is finding these levels of support and resistance where the stock made a move up, then was rejected, pushed back down, then retested that level and made a new high. So there are new levels here that I'm going to mark down. I do like this level here right around 370. So I'm going to make that level there. Another good level here, 380. Also right around Right around 392.46, right around there. I like that level as well. And 397.50. As far as here, I know that we had a huge back and forth there, so I'm gonna leave those levels pretty cleaned up. The next time frame that I am going to check is gonna be the 4 hour. Now at the 4 hour, this is where I start to incorporate my trend lines, and I'll go over that with you guys. But I am gonna look for more levels of support and resistance. Now, obviously, we're somewhere here, right? This is where the market is right now. So levels prior to that don't really matter, but I'm still gonna chart them for you guys just so you guys know what exactly I do when I chart. So that's a good level there. I also like this level right around here. And let's see. I don't change my colors from the daily to the 4 hour. I start changing my colors in the trend lines at the 1 hour mark. So I know that's very like more so intraday levels. But I like to leave my daily and my 4 hour levels of support and resistance within the same color because they're still very critical. So I'm pretty much done here with levels. For that, I guess we can do maybe one right around here. And that'll be the last level that I mark for the 4 hour chart. Remember, each hour represents 4 hours. But I am now going to incorporate some trend lines. So here we go. For trend lines, you're going to go down here if you already have TOS. You're going to click here. This option here of just a line is literally just to draw trend lines. So we're going to start. I like to start from left to right. But in this case, I think it'll be easier if I just start. Let's start from here. And what your goal when you're making trend lines is to get several levels where the price was either rejected, bounced off, and then retested. So I'll go over that in a few minutes here of what I mean. Now, if you didn't get it perfect, and obviously I didn't get it perfect here, that can be corrected. These are okay. You just right click and then you choose this option here, and that's gonna allow you to move the trend line a little bit so that it's a little bit more aligned with some of these levels. And let's see, right around there. I like that level there. Again, it doesn't have to be super clean. You just want to know what levels it's testing. So here we go. I'm gonna go over what I mean by that, right? What are these trend lines? What do they mean? Why are they important? And why should you incorporate them into your trading as well? So here we have SPY on the 4 hour chart. If we look at this price range right around here, what do we see? We see that it made a huge move up. It bounced off the trend line, and now it's making a move down, right? Now it retested this trend line here, right around here, and it was also rejected. Now let me explain. How was it rejected if it went above the trend line, right? It looks like it broke it. Well, after it broke the trend line, what happened there? It was rejected right back to this level where it was right around 355.90. So yes, it did break the trend line. However, the next 4 hours, we see this candle close below that trend line, and then the next 4 hour candle brings us right back to where we were originally trading around, right around that 354 level, 355. So that is a rejection. Now back to our drawings here. So there you have it. You have 1, 2, let's keep counting. We have another one here. We have another one here, another here, here, and here, right? This is important because SPY is holding this trend. Every time it hits right around this trend line, it's taking a break, right? It's retracing back and then it's making another move up. So just keep that in mind. Hits this trend line, pulls back, or a retracement, however you call it. Then we retest the trend line, pulls back, makes a move up, hits the trend line, retraces, makes a move up, rejects, retraces, makes a move up. You get the point, right? So that's important, and I'll show you guys why. Now that we know that SPY is doing that, we can adjust this trend line here, how I showed you guys earlier, and we can actually extend it. And we know here, right around where SPY is, right? We know that SPY could potentially hit this trend line, which it's already right at that level. And more than likely, it's going to either have a pullback or it's going to retest right around these levels. Now, I'm going to add an additional trend line, because if you look here, let's see, SPY is kind of holding. I don't like that one. Let me redo it. It's kind of holding right around this level here. It's not the best or the neatest, but I just want to prove a point here, right? So we go right, we're going to adjust that a little bit. And ultimately, SPY is kind of staying within this trend. So we know, why is that important? Why do we care? We know that since SPY here is now touching that area, it's more than likely going to retrace right around to this level. So we can take advantage of that, because we know that maybe we can short this, right? If you're trading options, you know that you can buy puts. If you're trading shares, you know that maybe you can short them, right? You can bet against the stock. So that's important to know. This is why trend lines are also so important. Now, let's go into a smaller time frame, and let's see if we can get levels from there. Now, from this 4-hour chart, there's not too many lines that I really want to highlight. I did see one right around here, 364.90 level. That's a good line there. Other than that, let's see, maybe here, because we did struggle there a little bit, and here. So now we are gonna go down to the hourly chart, right? The hourly chart is definitely wait, why is it not showing? Give me 1 second. The hour, oh, it's only a 20-day. So I'm going to edit that really quick. I want to see more of what the stock is doing. So I'm going to customize it. Instead of 20 days, I am going to do maybe like 30-day. So we're going to edit that. Instead of 20, you can do 90 days, you can do 30 days. It's really up to you. I'm going to go ahead and do the 30. I also have the 30 on my 5 and 15 minute chart. So with that said, if we look here, there's not too much going on. Maybe this level here. Now, when I make this line here and I go to edit properties, I am going to change the color here. I'm going to change it to white, because these are now just intraday levels. Are not so important as the other ones. So, and I'll know that, right? When I pull up my chart, I'll be like, oh, okay, I had an intraday level here right around 405. But again, it's an intraday level, so it's not as strong as the ones in the further out time frame. So with that said, I also like this level here right around 393, maybe like 394 level. And I didn't set it to default. So I'm going to click white, set as default. Okay, so now it should be able to just give me a white line without me having to go in there and edit it. So I like that level there as well. Looks like we had some pre-market levels here too that held. So I'm going to highlight that as well. And other than that, that's pretty much it. Now I'm going to get into the 30 minute. which gives us a little bit more information for intraday levels, right? So not so much for swing plays. If you're a day trader and you're in and out of trades within sometimes seconds, minutes, these are the levels that you want to have and you want to know, right? Because they're going to be important if you're just day trading. Now, if you're swinging anything, the further time frame levels are going to be more important to you versus the day trade, intraday levels. So I like that level there as well. And let's see, it looks like we bounced off this level a couple times but held. So I'm going to hold that. And that's pretty much it for the 30-minute. Now I am going to go into a 15-minute chart here. And when I do like gap plays, that's another video, but I'll go into that a little bit more. When you see gaps in your charts, you should also just color them a different color to differentiate them from your levels that you're watching. It's important to just have everything really nice and clean and organized, so you know what to do right when the market is hitting a critical level. You're not going to hesitate. You're not going to overthink anything. You're organized, everything, your colors, you know which ones are the more important ones, and you're going to take your trades based off of that. So as far as that, again, the 15-minute, I don't see anything that maybe here it was a high that it hit. I like that one. So I'll go back to this level here. Let's see. There it is. Okay, perfect. So other than that, I don't really see anything else. If you go back to the daily, now you have this, right? And you know that your white lines, intraday, purples are a little bit more important. Ultimately, yellow is going to be the most critical. And you have this pattern here. So tomorrow when the market does open, and if you had time to watch this video, you know that SPY's testing that trend line up here, and we could potentially push down. So that's something to look for. But this is how I chart, you guys. This is what I look for. I also incorporate levels of support and resistance, which I'll go over that right now with you guys. With SPY, it doesn't look like we have too many, but I'll still incorporate that. So levels of supply and resistance, right? Let's talk about that real quick. I'll make another video going more in depth, but for now, I'll show you guys what this is a very good example right around here. Let's see. Right around here. I'm going to edit that to white. That is the demand levels that I use. They're usually white. And what does that mean? So basically, when we talk about supply and demand, when there's a lot of demand, there's people that are thinking, right? People that are trading, that are saying, okay, well, if SPY can get right around 320 area, I think that's a great buy. So I'm going to load up on that level when it hits here. So there's a lot of demand. And if you see here, we hit there, shoots up, right? Retest this level here at 320. Shoot, a lot of people buy. Then it gets overbought, and we hit this level here of supply. Well, what does supply mean? Supply is where people are like, no, it's a little bit overpriced. I'm gonna go ahead and sell here. So it's also important to have those levels set up and use them for a second form of confirmation, right? You don't ever just want to trade off supply and demand. I know people that do, but you really shouldn't. It should just be another form of confirmation for you to take on your trades. So with that said, I'm going to edit that. People are selling it here. I'm going to make that green. So that's supply and demand. Demand means that people think it's at a great price and they want to load up on it. And then when we see supply level zones, it just means that people think that it's overbought. Another indicator that you could use, it's called the RSI. I personally don't use it, but it's another indicator that kind of lets you know when the stock is overbought and overpriced. And it kind of has gives you like a little bit of a third confirmation. But other than that, you can just simply stick to using levels of supply and demand, and I think it's a little bit safer in my opinion. Now, when these levels of supply and demand are broken, just like levels of support and resistance, you start building new ones. So if we look here, we enter a new supply level right around this area here. This level, if we look again, let me edit that to white just so we can stick to one color. Right, we see here we have a lot of people who again are like, okay, I think that right around this level of 370, it's a great price to buy. So what does the stock do? Pushes up, pushes up, pushes up right when it hits this level here right around 370. So that's demand. So this level here of supply, you can keep it when the stock is trading, you know, right around this price range of 320 to 350. But as the stock is making new moves, new high, you know, higher highs, higher lows, you want to start building new levels of supply and demand so that you can utilize those as well. And that's it, guys. That's how I chart. That's all the things that I use. I really hope that this video is informative and helpful to you guys. If you guys have any questions, let me know. Drop them down on the comment section. Also, let me know what else you guys would like to see in future videos, and I'll be sure to incorporate whatever you guys are asking for in future videos. Thanks again so much for watching. I'm excited to start this trading channel, and I hope you guys can maximize from all these videos that I'm going to be making for everyone. Thanks, guys. See you in the next video.